Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about something that I've seen happen a lot recently as developers publish into the Metastore. This is specifically for VR developers that are looking to make money because the Metastore is right now where the money is at. And Meta has a monopoly on VR right now. So, what's going on? There's some things that are not being said or documented. So, I'm going to talk about it today and how it affects you. So, I'm going to start from the beginning. Let's say you just started, you're building your game. Why should you worry? There are some things that happen towards the end when you're publishing the game, when you already released the game, and you might not be aware of this until after the fact. And then you might waste a week. I've seen developers not waste, but they had to spend more time than they thought for a game that they already published. So let's say you're at the beginning, but you want to know what happens at the end of this ride into developing and pushing to the Metastore. So I'm going to give you what's going on. The first thing is this early access. As you see, Orion Drift came out. You have an early access, and you can see it here. And you can see it in the banner. Perfect. Make sure the first tip is early access. When you publish early access, don't just rely on the checkbox of submission to Meta. Do a nice banner that says early access or alpha or beta, whatever it is that you're in, so that players know and know what to expect. Hey, the second thing which involves this is most of the time from early access to full release, it's just a checkbox. If your game has been approved, there's no second QA feature or second QA pass that you have to go through for full release. All you have to do is uncheck the box, resubmit, and your full release. Now, if your game's not ready for full release and people are expecting that, that's on you. But this is what happens, and I want to share what Meta does so that you know. And this is based on experience from me and what I've seen other developers deal with recently. And so I want to share it with you. What happens is, the truth is, Meta will QA your game when you publish it at some point. Because there's so many games, and I think they're catching up, so they're going through the games that you might not be aware of, but they will QA every game out there eventually. How that list is made, how fast they get through it, I don't know. That's they don't release that information. What I do know is that they do it because I've had friends that have had games that have been out for years as a demo from Quest 1 days and people that just submitted. And what happens is when they test these things, they go through everything. They test every feature. One of my friends had a a Twitch stream from their VR game, and he forgot that he had that feature, and they went and tested that. They test every button, everything that they see that they can do. They will test it. That's the VRC number one, and I will go through each VRC. Like I have a video on VRCs, but I realized that as my friends were going through this, it's like, oh, like I just I said, oh, I talked about this in this video, but the video was like 40 minutes long and it had all the VRC. So you have to like scrub through to find the VRC. So what I'm gonna focus in on doing specific VRC, specific things that I've learned, and just do a video on that one specific thing. That way you can find the answers faster. They got flagged. I had another friend with an old game, and the problem was that his path was he either had to fudge the Android SDK to make sure it would upload, but then his build wasn't working, so he had to go all the way and update Unity and fix the game to work in Unity, the version that allowed him to export the specific Android SDK level so that the Android manifest matched and everything was good to go for the latest version of the App Store. Okay. All these things are things that you might not know about and you might not think you don't have to go back to. But the Metastore and VR is updating at a fast pace and it's always evolving. So what can you do? The first thing is always try to be on the latest, not the newest, but the latest stable build in Unity. If you're building in Unity, if you're doing Unreal, make sure you're always updating to the latest stable, and always have the ability to build on Android on the target SDK for the latest build. And I think right now Android 32 is a good solid state, and it'll be for a while. But you never know. And so that's the first thing is your Unity or your Unreal version. Always have the latest for Android builds. The next thing that you can do is be aware that your game's going to get tested as if it was, because it is on the store. It will be tested like a full release version. They will go through each VRC, but they need people. They need testers to, like, they need a team or someone that's actually going through the game and making sure all the VRCs are working. And so that takes time. And I assume there's a QA somewhere that, or a queue somewhere where Meta is doing that and checking constantly. And eventually they'll get to you if you're publishing. So know that if you do an early access release, whether it's Orion, you can see in Cactus Jam, we don't have the early access. They will eventually test it. And so it's important that you are aware of that. And that's why I'm going to make more videos specifically on VRC so that when you get stuck or you're not sure about something, you can come to this channel. And if you have questions, if you got an email from Meta saying that, hey, you need to fix this, or in a week we're going to take down your game, comment below, let me know. I'm here to help you. And I know that this is hectic, frustrating, because there's no documentation about when or why or how they do this. All you need to know is that you need to pass the VRCs, so you need to understand how that applies to your game. And that's why I'm here. If you like this video and you want more of these videos and they're helping you, please like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let's help you with your games.